Let's delve deeper into this issue. We've been joined by Kina Likimani, who is Director of M&E and Special Projects at Odikro. Good evening to you. Thanks so much for your time. Mr. Likimani, you're on Joynews Prime. And if you can hear me, your organization has been doing a lot of work on Parliament. Now, the Minority Chief Whip says only 100 MPs out of 275 MPs show up and actually do Parliament work. Do you agree?
Well, so the short answer is yes, but the explanation, and I'd like to go a bit deeper into it. One, so first of all, I'm going to praise my own organization because we've been talking about this for 4 years, over 4 years, doing absenteeism reports. And the practice of MPs asking others to sign present when they are not there is in response to our scorecards, which we release in election years. So they are trying to make themselves look better at the end of the 4-year term. But really, the issue is when Odikro started to assess and monitor Parliament said that nobody can talk about them except themselves, which is of course a wrong position to take. But the only two institutions or two processes makes rules for the business of Parliament: the Constitution and Parliament itself. So if they discover, if for some reason which I cannot understand now, they have awakened themselves to even the problem of absenteeism, then they are the ones to fix it. You know, they have rules in place. They themselves put those rules in place to deal with absent MPs who are absent without permission. Every single time we have released our reports and we give a copy to the leadership of the majority and the minority, and we give copies to the speaker, they have acted like we shouldn't even, they have acted like the reports don't even exist.
But of course, and talking about they themselves realizing the issue, it's been on the banner for some time now.
So,
recently,
the issue is that it's for Parliament to fix its own problems. It is for Ghanaians to put pressure on Parliament, but it is for Parliament to fix its own problems. No one can actually fix it for them. And this is why they continue to behave the way they do. They know that. So even to turn around, anybody who says that MPs that come to Parliament cannot even do the business of Parliament because of the ways in which MPs are elected or the monies they spend, I don't even want to hear it, because again, ordinary Ghanaians do not set the rules of contestation. We are not the ones making the rules for political parties. If parties are extorting monies from parliamentary candidates, it is not the public's fault. None of this is the public's fault. None of this is our rules that we set. These are political party procedures that gets people into Parliament, and then parliamentary procedures. So they are to fix their issue. Today I hear that some of the leadership are lambasting first-term MPs, that they have not performed well. We take issue with that because the people who have to make sure that first-term MPs have the space to do effective legislative work is leadership. And the leadership knows that they have not given enough space for first-term MPs to perform. If everything that is done in Parliament is done along the lines of leadership, which is majority with minority, there's my committee chairs, then ordinary first-term members who have no kind of leadership role, they are not going to be effective. You cannot wait for a full 4 term to go by to then start complaining in election year or assessing yourself in election year when you know that an organization like Odikro will bring out scorecards. It's a bit late.
Kina,
it's a bit late, always a bit late for Parliament to react to their business.
Kina, I'm happy you talk about an election year, and of course we're demanding accountability from the people that we vote to represent us. What can we do as citizens, as Ghanaians, to hold these parliamentarians accountable so they can show up to do the work we ask them to go and do there?
Well, first of all, the first thing that Odikro likes to, the thing that our work is concerned about is the constitutional mandate that MPs have, and only Parliament. They have oversight, legislature, representation. We need for Ghanaians to take their minds out of what the MP can do in their constituency to what the MPs and Parliament should be doing to further development and freedom in Ghana. Because roads, a lot of institutions can bring roads. Schools, a lot of institutions can bring schools. Sanitation, a lot of institutions, but there is only one institution that can pass laws, only one institution that can represent us, and only one institution that can do the oversight. So we really also need the media to be always looking at, to critically assess and also report on what MPs and Parliament is doing to further the development of Ghana. It is irrelevant, let me say, it is irrelevant the development of Ghana if an MP from wherever brings a school to here. It is good for the constituency, but for the country as a whole, if that MP brings development to their constituency, but they are not taking part of the core constitutional mandate, which only Parliament can do, that person is underperforming and Parliament is underperforming. You will notice that parliamentarians, they sit on Parliament and they talk as though they are ordinary Ghanaians when issues come up. They are not ordinary Ghanaians. We have empowered them. The Constitution empowers them to take part in solving our problems. And it is what happens on the floor. It is what laws they pass. It is how they oversee the executive, which is what should be our primary concern. Not whether they promise you a bridge in their constituency.
I'm grateful for your time. Kinali Kimani is Director M&E at Odikro. She's been speaking about absenteeism in Parliament. But minority